So all you're doing is clicking on action. With all of the book sweeps thing, they have a little action orange button at the top there, which then gives you the things that you can do on that page. So in this one, you're going to add an author. I'm actually at the limit of the number of authors that I can add here. So it's not going to let me add this, but I can still run through the process. So we're clicking on add author. You're putting in your author name. So put Bree Yardley in there. Author email is bree@bardicbooks.com.au. There is no URL for Bree Yardley, so I'm not going to put that in. And of course, then she doesn't have a privacy policy either. So then you would click on Save Author. If you do have a website, fling it in there. And if you do have a privacy policy, you can put it in there. You'd click on Save Author. And then when you come back to pen names, you'd be in the list there. Okay, so the next thing that you have to do is upload your book. And strangely enough then, instead of going to pen names, we go to books. Second on the list over on the left. And again, we come over to the orange action button and click Add New Book. The first things you have there are book title and book label. Book title is what's going to be publicly shown. Book label is what you might, your shorthand version of what it might be. So if, for example, the book title is The Hidden Duchess, the book label might just be Hidden Duchess. That kind of thing. Your pen name will pop up under author name, so you can select that. And then the book type will be what type of book you've got here. So is it an excerpt? Is it a full book, novella, preview, sample, Other for things like maps and character profiles and that kind of thing. If you're in a series, which this one is, and if you fling your Amazon ASIN in there, so the Amazon code for your book, it automatically brings up your photos, your pictures, your images and things, so you don't need to download them. And then, I mean, this is all the same stuff. So your book tagline, whatever your tagline is, your book description, you can put specific notes to readers in there. When I did The Hidden Duchess the second time round, after it had been thoroughly upgraded and the silly bits had been taken out, there was a notice to the readers to say this is a fully edited edition. And then you just save book. And it will then come up in this list here. Mine didn't, because I didn't do it. So the next thing that you need to do is create a landing page. Now, landing pages are important in that they direct the readers in the right direction. So you can have a landing page that's collecting emails and a landing page that isn't collecting emails. So if you're looking at organic signups and giving them your reader magnet as a gift after they've signed up, you would use a landing page that doesn't collect email addresses because you've already got it. But if you're doing, for example, a promotion where you're giving people your reader magnet with a view to getting them on your list, you would do a landing page that does collect email addresses. So for the moment, we're going to set up a landing page that is connected to your organic readership. So it just gives them the book and says, thanks very much. So we click on landing pages. We click on action, again, add new landing page. And the type of landing page that we're looking at is a simple download page without email collection. So we click on that. Create landing page. I'm sorry, you need to choose a book first. Gets a bit grumpy if you don't choose a book first. So you've chosen your book, chosen the type, create a landing page. All right, you then need to give that page a name. So this is going to be organic thank you. You can put an expiry date on these. That's good if you're in a promotion and you've got a specific length of time that that promotion runs. And you can do a download limit, but I've never had a situation where I've reached, you know, more than a few hundred downloads, so it's no big drama with that. You can preview what your landing page looks like. And this is what the Hidden Duchess looks like. Haughty Duchess and a peasant farmer, and it just says, get my book. It doesn't ask you to sign up your email or anything. It's purely a link for people to get your book. I think I go back to get to there. Create landing page. So then, it's taken all the details out. Organic. No expiries, and then you just save your download page. The last thing that you need to do is to publicize, or is to know what the link is to go to that page. And once you've done the landing page, I've got the Hidden Duchess with no email collection. I can get a link for readers. I can get a short link if I'm going to be putting it on Twitter and characters are minimal, but this is generally the link that you would give them. So you'd say, thanks very much. As a gift, I'd like to give you my copy of Bloody Blah, and this is the link to go get it. And that's as easy as that. Now, Janet's asked the question, if I had an anthology of poems, would it go under other in book type? And I've got to say, I'm not 100% certain. It's not a novel. It doesn't really fit into any of the other categories, so I think it probably would. Vicky, this is if Vicky's asked the question, this is giving, or is this giving someone a gift without collecting their email? And it is, but you only use this if they've organically signed up to your list previously. So you'd say to them, thank you for signing up to my list. As a gift and as a welcome gift, please accept this copy of my book. Alrighty, so we might just hop back over then to the presentation. If I can find it, that's it. All right. So we've looked at book distribution sites. We'll go back to BookFunnel. Don't panic, we haven't finished over there. The next thing we're going to look at though is newsletter swaps. And the reason we look at newsletter swaps next is because, well, that kind of book distribution that we just set up, you do get a few hits on those from time to time, just generally inside BookFunnel. I've had 2 people who've signed up to my book in the last month, and I've done no promotion. I don't know where they come from, and I actually don't know where they come from. So, so you will get little tiny dribbles through that. The next best thing to do is your newsletter swaps. So is BookFunnel something you... No, you can use it any time. Sorry, Lou has asked if BookFunnel is something you can use anytime, and it's not only for promo campaigns, no. BookFunnel, you can use it to distribute ARCs, your advanced reader copies. You can actually use it as a storefront as well, if you're happy to go through the process and set it up. So there's a lot of stuff that BookFunnel does that we're just not going to cover today. But yeah, no, it's very far from just a promo campaign site. Alrighty, moving along then to newsletter swaps. Newsletter swaps is where you promote other people's works in your newsletter and they do the same back for you. It's a good strategy to build your newsletter up to 1,000 to 2,000 subscribers. Now, the upsides are that it's usually free, apart from your time. The downsides are that other newsletter owners can be fussy about numbers and won't even look at you unless you've got a certain minimum before they'll share with you. You need to be careful that you match subgenres and heat levels. If you have an audience that was built on your sweet romance, handing them recommendations for, you know, fully sexy books might be a disconnect for them. And that's when we come back to our positive somatic markers. You're always trying to create those positive responses, so you just wouldn't do that. You can get mixed results, even from people with the same kind of size newsletter. If you're promoting within your own genre, there's a fair likelihood that all of the people inside your genre have crossover with the people who are on their newsletters. So you may get some from one person, you may not get them from another person. And it just, there's no way of saying you're going to get X number of people from any promotion that you do. And the last thing about the newsletter swaps is that it's about the way you think about them. And I actually saw this question come up on Facebook this evening on the Wide for the Win site. And when I started to think about newsletter swaps in 2017, this is what I posted on. I see everyone doing newsletter swaps and it always makes me feel a little dirty. After all, those people didn't sign up to my newsletter to hear about everyone else's books. They signed up because they wanted to hear about mine. I like to think that my newsletter is like a letter written to a friend, and I'd only tell a friend about another book if I'd read it and enjoyed it. Am I looking at this the wrong way? As you can see, I got 50 responses to that. I'm pretty sure this was on the 20 books to 50K site. So I got 50 comments back on that one. And they were things like this. I view it as giving my subscribers info on great deals for books in my same genre, since I can't write as much as they read. The bottom line is that they are readers. If the books you recommend are good and in the same genre, why not bring it to your readers' attention? You can't possibly create enough content to keep your readers reading. I only swap with books that are in my genre and that I would enjoy. And then you've got the odd one that said, I don't do newsletter swaps. But by and large, people do them. They'll put limits on them and they'll put restrictions on them. And that's how you should do it. You shouldn't, you know, bombard your readers with other things. But mine was 3 maximum, and they were always romance inside the same subgenres that I was working in. The other thing that I had to do then was change my newsletter from saying Bree recommends to saying books by Bree's friends or something like, I can't remember exactly what I did, but it was something like that. So it went from being a recommendation from me to just some information passing. All right, so if you do want to go ahead and look at newsletter swaps, there's a few good places to look. These 3 Facebook groups are particularly good. When I did it in 2017, authors with under 1,000 email subscribers was a great place to be, but I had a look at these the other day and it looks like the author newsletter share and swap site is has better uptake at the moment than the email subscribers ones. And then you've got your specific romance author swap and cross promo, and they're, you know, that's your gold, because you know that you're going to get romance readers. And then, of course, you can ask other people in RWA and other writing groups if they wanted to share their lists or their reader magnet with their list, and you would do the same for them. All right, so that's newsletter swaps. Next one we're going to look at is promotions. using the promotional arm of BookFunnel or your chosen platform to get new readers to look at your reader magnet. I think this is the most effective strategy for quick